Have you ever heard the adjective garden leave? Well, it is a declaration that a major scandal is hitting the Royal Bahamas Police Force in the aftermath of a series of voice notes which has gone viral, and which, if not properly investigated, could cause you to lose confidence in the leadership of the Central Detective Unit of the Royal Bahamas Police Force. It's a major piece of scandal, and it is my hope and prayer that an investigation will lead us to AI. AI is artificial intelligence. Is the Royal Bahamas Police Force being rocked by artificial intelligence, or is there truth to the voice note? We will attempt to look at it as best we can. Broadcasting live from the ILTV studios located here at University Drive. Welcome to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. I'm a Justice of the Peace here in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. I'm also a member of the local Catholic Christian community. And of course, today happens to be Friday, the 5th day of July in the year of our Lord 2024. Bradley Roll, who sits to my right, praise the Lord, is my spiritual advisor, and I welcome him once again. Welcome, Brother Roll.
Thank you so much. Good to be here.
Well, folks, it's a wonderful day here in the Bahamas. There are a number of things happening. And every time I think that the country is, being stabilized, there's always something to cause your heart beat up. So we have to be very careful that we do not allow the news and the rumors of news raise our blood temperature. But my temperature has risen, and we'll hold on. We'll talk about these issues. This is Freedom March. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the Royal Bahamas Police Force. God save the King. This must be AI. I say ban artificial intelligence in the Bahamas if found to be so. Back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker, and of course, Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor. I shall go straight to him so he can start this Friday evening well. Bradley, if it pleases you.
Thank you so much. Good to be here. Good afternoon, everybody. We're going to go to the book of James. We had a very interesting passage today. I thought I'd share this with you, something that gives me something to think about. And James is encouraging the Christians about being in being in a position where humility really teaches you a really good thing. And here's what he says about humility. He says, believers in humble circumstances ought to take pride in their high position. That's food for thought. He says, but the rich should take pride in their humiliation, since they will pass away like a wild flower. For the sun rises with scorching heat and withers the plant. Its blossom falls and its beauty is destroyed. In the same way, the rich will fade away even while they go about their business. James chapter 1, verses 9 through 11. Very, very thought-provoking passage indeed. The word of God is forever and ever blessed. Thank you so much, producer. Back to you, Sandra.
Thank you, my spiritual advisor.
Absolutely.
Well, folks, I welcome you once again to Freedom March, and there are some exciting news taking place in our country. And we now have reports that the chief superintendent in charge of the Central Detective Unit has agreed to take, quote, a garden leave, end quote. If I understand the quote correctly, I've never heard before in my life of a garden leave, but obviously English isn't my first language, so you will understand my situation. But this comes in the aftermath after a voice note and or a series of voice notes, it is alleged, has been released on social media, to which certain Negroes have said that from the voice note, they recognize the voice of Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson, and he appears to be involved in a conversation with some unknown citizen, which people find to be rather suspicious. Indeed, I've not heard the entirety of the voice note, but up to the point that I have heard, I do not see any form of corruption. Perhaps I may change my position when I would have heard the entirety, but at the moment I see nothing. It appears that Michael Johnson, the chief superintendent, if that is his voice, taking into consideration that we are aware of a senior government official whose voice has been reproduced by evil people using AI. AI is the abbreviation for artificial intelligence. So in this day, we have to be very, very careful. I would be shocked that a man of the rank of Michael Johnson, a chief superintendent, could be foolish to talk gangster talk, illegal talk with any person on the cell phone. Certainly, the only person that should be able to trick him into talking foolish talk should be his mother. And certainly, I'll tell you, my mom can't get me to talk foolish talk, because I would say to her, Mama, you trying to send me to jail? Huh? All right? So this is a major scandal that appears to be taking place, appears to be unfolding, and it is my understanding from a Negro source that the chief superintendent has volunteered to take a leave so that his superior may conduct whatever investigation that becomes necessary. So it's very shocking. It's shocking. I refuse to believe that a man of his experience, a man who has been trained in intelligence gathering, that he could be foolish to talk to anyone on a cell phone with reference to anything that is contrary to the law. I wait to be convinced. So I thought I'll tell that to you, and we will see how this story develops. As I discussed that, I'm reminded of a case which has commenced, in which a Negro man, he has placed his family in a serious condition where the police raided their home and found dope. And I'm shocked that, according to the intelligence that I've received, he has asked that his mother, who is a decent woman, that she should take responsibility for his dope because she has a clean record. This would be her first time, and he's certain that the court would be lenient towards her. I find it extremely upsetting. I've been upset now for about 7 days, and I must confess, in the privacy of my home, I curse. I just cursed the wall. I could not believe that a young man who it is believed to be the owner of the dope would ask that his mother take responsibility. Well, it's very interesting, taking into consideration that I've told you that if my mother was involved in anything foolish, Mama is going to go to jail for herself. I was not going to jail for my mom. And certainly the mother should resist going to prison for her son. I thought I'd say that to you because I really didn't come prepared today to discuss police corruption or to discuss the allegation against Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson. But as I started climbing the stairs, I became overwhelmed because I must confess, I do know Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson. See, I must confess. And therefore, I decided today I shall go into a state of denial until they can prove to me beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm going to give him the benefit because I found him to be a very good, decent police officer fighting crime, and I refuse to believe that he is a stupid man. All right? God forgive me for saying a stupid man. The spiritual advisor, I shall not invite you to comment because I'm certain you are not bold or brave.
I mean, I don't know anything with what's going on, Xander. You know, I stick as close as I can to the straight mark that Jesus has left for us to follow. I try to stay on that straight and narrow, but I can share with you the meaning of garden leave.
Help me, my spiritual advisor.
It's a very interesting concept, to say the least.
Garden leave.
And it all depends on which part of the world you're in. It can mean something different.
So if I'm in the Bahamas, what would garden leave? Because you not believe me, the first person that I thought about asking the meaning of the word garden leave was Marcus Louis. So I called Marcus and I said, Marcus, have you ever heard about garden leave? And so, do you know the meaning? So Marcus said, say it to me in Haitian Creole. And I said, now Marcus, why are you trying to do me like that? He said, no, to the best of your knowledge, say it to me in Haitian Creole. So I said, Marcus, jardin? He said, continue. And I kept saying, jardin, 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 sorti. And he busted laugh, and he said, Monica, I'll call you back. Go ahead.
Yeah, but garden leave, I don't know exactly what it would mean in the Bahamas, but if you're in Germany, it has a meaning. If you're in the UAE, it has a meaning. If you're in the United States, it has a meaning. I guess it all depends
So
on...
tell me, in the United States, what does garden
Here's
leave
what,
mean?
here's what Google is saying, garden...
Google?
Yeah.
I'm smarter than Google, but tell me
Right.
what
But you
she
should,
said.
if you wanted to know what garden
I said,
leave
tell
really
me,
was...
tell me it. Don't get upset over the fact that I'm
Give me a
smarter than
second.
Google. Tell me.
You should have called Aaron Kiki Knowles. He would have told you.
Okay.
And you should have called that very intelligent man, the role man.
Which role?
F&M man.
Who?
Who was smarter than Google. You should have called him.
No, I decided.
I haven't heard from him for a while. What's his name again now?
I will call. Let's not call his name. I decided I will call Marcus.
Boozy. You should have called Boozy.
Would you please leave that
He would have
gentleman
told
name
you.
alone?
But let's look at garden leave and let's see what it actually means. Garden leave, also known as gardening leave, is a period of time during which an employee is required to stay away from work, typically after they have either resigned or been terminated. Now, during this time, the employee remains employed by the company, but is not expected to perform any duties. You understand now?
What happened to the word that the police always use? Interdiction.
But apparently that doesn't apply in this case yet.
What does the word interdiction mean?
All right. So, let's find. Oh, sorry. I wanted to give you.
Go ahead.
So, now, what are the rules concerning garden
Tell me.
leave? So if you've been placed on a garden leave, there's a clause, right? And it requires the employee to stay away from the workplace and stop working even though their contract of employment continues. All right, strictly speaking, garden leave can be imposed at any point during the course of an employment, but is usually introduced for all or part of employees' notice period.
Now, what happens to payment, salary?
Still get it. You'll still be paid.
Okay. Now,
Now,
go to
interdiction.
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 Yeah.
Now,
What is the meaning of interdiction?
wow. It's an action of preventing a person from working. I don't understand that.
It is an action from
Preventing a person
preventing a
from
person from
yeah.
working.
And there's a legal process where a court is asked to determine from testimony or other evidence presented where the person is unable, due to an infirmity, to consistently make decisions regarding this person property.
The commissioner of police, which has been the practice, whenever a person, I think I see why they're not using the word interdiction.
Yes.
Usually when a person is charged or is about to be charged in a criminal court, an officer of the Royal Bahamas
Now.
Police Force, they're taken to police headquarters, and just before being escorted to court, the commissioner of police interdicts them.
What we should have done is we should have looked up police interdiction.
Police interdiction.
Because now it gives a different meaning.
Yes, go ahead.
Now, police interdiction refers to temporary removal
Yes,
of an officer
yes.
from performing his normal duties.
Right.
An officer may be interdicted when disciplinary proceedings for his or her dismissal are being undertaken or are about to be undertaken. So interdiction may also take place on the grounds that criminal charges are pending. Now that classes up a bit more different.
Yeah.
But they've not reached that stage.
Well,
so interdiction is not applicable at
Well,
this time.
we've never had garden leave.
But it is interesting. It makes sense, though.
No.
I mean,
There
when
are
you look at the
many
circumstances.
things make sense in the world, but it doesn't make sense based on the English tradition. God save the king. All right?
But you can understand why it was done.
No, I cannot understand it because we
In
have,
this case, you should. It's very
no,
simple
we have
for
a
you.
practice of
Garden leave.
interdiction. All right?
Well, it's interesting that the police force has used a very intelligent word, not only that, a very intelligent process to deal with the situation.
The-
And I agree with what they're doing.
The police must follow
Garden leave.
the law.
But you have to let this play out.
We're not.
And so it may move from garden leave to interdiction. Who knows?
My spiritual advisor.
But based on the information, though, it could be AI.
We have.
Which means you could.
No.
You'll have the troll too now doing
Forget
that.
AI for a second. Here in the Bahamas, I've never heard, and I'm 67.
That's fine.
I'm the son of a policeman.
Yeah.
I'm the nephew of a policeman.
First time for everything.
I'm the
sometimes.
brother of the policeman.
Yeah.
No.
It's the first time for everything.
No.
That's life.
All right? And all I'm saying is that is not the term that
It's very interesting, though. Garden
use.
leave.
Yeah, garden leave. Leave. What is ça ça y est, leave in Creole Haitian? Come on.
Sortie.
No. Sortie is incorrect. That's why Marcus.
What is sortie?
Sortie is.
Well, exit. Because I noticed that when I'm driving in Canada, you'll see on some of those signs the word sortie, which means if I'm exiting. Well, okay.
Mes amis.
Okay.
Mes amis.
Okay.
Laisse-moi dire ça pour Marcus. Il rit parce qu'il
Santa
m'a
Mary,
pas
man, this is
prononcé
English.
bon.
Man, this is an English speaking show, man.
Well, I'm talking to you. I'm not
can't-
talking to the English people. I'm talking to you, my Haitian brother. Anyway, so these are some of the things that are happening in the country where this new development is taking place, and it has the potential of calling the whole system into being. So I want police officers, I'm going to say it outrightly, I do not want police officers. I want police officers to be responsible, be law-abiding, and to beware telephones. People can call you, and the next thing you know, they are engaging you in foolishness. And if you're not thinking, and if you're not holding up right principle, you begin to answer. And the next thing you know, AI got your ASS. And we're not going to pronounce that word. All right? So you have to be careful. You have to be responsible. All right? These phones are dangerous. All right? I'll tell you how dangerous they are. This is Freedom March. God saved the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God saved the King. King Charles III, the entire royal family, including the Royal Bahamas Police Force. God save the King. I'll be right back on this wonderful Friday afternoon. Welcome back to Freedom Match. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Roll is my spiritual advisor, and I've told you a developing story which perhaps will change my agenda. And I'm going to let my spiritual advisor pay some bills, and then I'm going to go off course. I might go into space. I might look at the many satellites that the United States, Russia, China has in the air. For many of you Negroes, you will think that I am stupid. But it is my hope and prayer that while you ridicule my intelligence, you will do the best to see if you can make sense out of my level of stupidity. Bradley, will you please read some?
Yes, let's pay some bills quickly. We look the Work Center, located Rosetta Street, across from Roberts Furniture, is your one-stop shop for back-to-school Dickies, Timberlands, and many, many more. Come on down and let their friendly staff assist you with getting ready for back to school. This is indeed powerful. Everybody needs money always, so send money internationally and locally through Western Union with MoneyMax. Download the MoneyMax app today to send cash instantly to a family member or friend anytime and anywhere. Sending money has never been simpler. The app is available on the Apple Store and the Google Play Store. MoneyMax. Live your max life.
This is powerful.
Indeed. But
you paid the ads?
Yeah, I did. I did
thank you,
2
my
ads.
spiritual advisor.
I think what you're going to do next is going to be extremely interesting, Sandra, as you talk about the various technology, because I had an experience
Yes.
that I thought was very fascinating. You know, a young man said to me, he said, listen, do you want to know if your girlfriend is cheating on you?
Really?
So I say, what do you mean? He said, listen, I have some technology that could track your girlfriend's phone if she's cheating on you.
Wow.
To the location, and also if she's at a hotel, which room she's in.
Really?
I said, you serious? He said, yeah.
Can he find my girlfriend's
right.
boyfriend?
He was right,
Really?
because it happened to me. He was right.
Explain.
So I call and I call, and she wouldn't answer. And when I downloaded the app,
Yes.
and I track the signal to the phone,
Uh-huh.
I found her.
Really?
I'm telling you.
And what did you do, my spiritual advisor?
Well,
Did you ask
you
her
know,
to come home?
it was heartbreaking,
Oh,
but
Lord.
it's just reality.
Technology.
Man, listen, but the place she was staying was a very nice place, I must say.
Okay.
Because I went up to the restaurant on the second floor and I waited. Why you laugh, man?
Please forgive me.
No, seriously, it was overlooking the Ocean of West.
Really?
I'm telling you.
She had a good boyfriend.
And
Oh, my spiritual advisor, technology.
off the chain.
Yeah.
I went to the second floor, beautiful restaurant overlooking the Ocean out west. And she was there.
Really?
She was there.
What did you say to her?
I was completely surprised.
Did you say?
I mean, all I did was I just texted the message. I said, listen, you know, I'm here on the second floor, having something to eat. Do you mind if I send something to room number so and so? And over 10 minutes, bush crack and they were gone.
Bushcrack. Man was
Yeah.
gone,
But
but couple were gone.
you know, but the technology nowadays,
Yep.
it's extremely advanced.
Yeah.
I was very shocked to be made aware that basically every conversation with cell phones basically are recorded or can possibly be listened to. Conversations on Facebook, conversations on WhatsApp, all of these conversations are recorded and can be listened to by particular people. So nothing is safe. So that's why, I told you earlier, I try to, make sure I go to that straight line.
Well,
And don't deviate to the left or to the right, because
look at
you will eventually be found out whatever is going on.
You are right. So therefore, let's look at AI, that's artificial intelligence, in the 51st anniversary of the Bahamas. When Perry Christie was Prime Minister in the last Christie administration, Fred Mitchell was the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Obama, if I have it correctly, he would have been the President of the United States of America. The Commonwealth of the Bahamas discovered that every cell phone call that its citizen made, wherever they made it, within and without the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, the United States government were capturing and recording everything we said. Fred Mitchell sent a delegation. Watch out for me, Negroes. You may never have heard this before. Watch out for me. Fred Mitchell sent a delegation to meet with the State Department to protest the fact that the Americans were recording our cell phones. And Fred Mitchell did that way after I told people on many talk shows that I appeared on that I had an experience. I have no proof it is Americans, but I suspect it was an American. I told you that when I went to bed, the Americans were able to see me through my computer. My wife thought I was crazy. And I said to her, listen, I'm not taking off my clothes in this room. And she asked me, what's going on? I said, you see that computer there? The Americans are watching me, and they're going to see me. So I take my blanket, and I throw it over the computer. And I said, God damn, they can't see through the blanket. And she says to me, I'm going to pull out this plug before you burn this house down. So she pulled out the plug. I also am aware that based on the information that was shared in the Bahamas, every phone call we make, that is one of the reasons why I've condemned sweethearting, because the Americans are in a position to tell every person in this country who's keeping sweetheart. You don't have to believe me. On Bay Street, opposite the House of Assembly, is a particular video. And that video captured a Bahamian man walking on Bay Street with his sweetheart. And the people who control the video took copy to the man's sweetheart, to the man's wife. It caught the man and the sweetheart on Bay Street. And they took a copy and they give it to the man's wife. These are little things that I'm aware of. So we live in an age of technology where you are called upon to stop committing sins, for your sins are being documented and it's being kept by the Americans. If you're watching world news, you will see over the years that the United States and Russia and the Chinese, they have put satellites into the atmosphere. Some of these satellites has to do with telecommunication, and my word might be incorrect, capturing images, videography, and so they're able to see what you're doing. Well, anybody who wants to talk, either love talk with a person who's not their husband or their wife, or they want to talk gangster talk, it's being documented. You hear me? It's being documented. They've told me that even when my cell phone is off, it's on. Okay? So many nights, depending on how I feel, I let the cell phone sleep outside. And my wife would say, mine, they can find it in TV. I said, well, I let it sleep outside. Many nights, I turn the TV on the opposite side. She thinks that I'm paranoid. I'm not! All right? I'm just going to make it difficult. At 67, can you imagine? I'm laying off, comfortable in my underclothing, and in the United States, they can see if I'm wearing a boxer. Now, you don't have to believe me.
You have a smart TV, right?
My TV is very smart.
Yeah. So if the TV is off and you're laying on your bed, you have the TV in front of your bed, yeah, they can actually watch you while you're sleeping.
They can watch me, hey? Yeah. And you may not believe me. You would recall that in 2006, when the Americans captured our boys who were working at the airport as working, I don't know if the word I'm going to use is as package boy. These were the men who would be putting the handbags and the suitcase on the plane. And in 2006, they set a trap for those Negroes and they captured them. I immediately organized a protest against it, and I demanded that the United States send the boys home. Scores of American tourists, upon seeing my banner on Bay Street, and when they saw "Send the Boys Home," they associated my rally cry with their 1967-68 cry during the Vietnam War, when they too were saying to send the boys home, the American soldiers. So many of them rallied with me. One night I went to bed and the Americans called me on my phone. And when I answered the phone, I was half asleep. And I said to the boys, listen, I sleepy, man. Call me tomorrow. Do you know the Americans talk to me until I wake up? And they ordered me to do something, and I did it. They know how to talk to you. So guess what the Americans asked me to do? They said, listen, come on your computer. We want you to come to our website so that you can see the story that we have done on you and tell us what you think about it. So I said, man, I can do that tomorrow. The Americans said to me, no, we need you to do that now. So I was so upset, I was sleepy, I got up, I got on the computer, went to the website, and boom, the Americans catch me. They captured my computer, and after that, I could find that story no more. They captured my computer, right? Now, if you say to me, prove it, I can't prove it. The psychiatrist will say he's stupid. The psychologist will say that's Monica talking nonsense. But take it from me, they captured my computer, they know how to wake you up, and that is what they've done. So I say that to say to you, do not discuss anything that is sinful on your cell phone. The only thing to do is gossip the gospel. Talk about Jesus. Let the Americans record that, and who knows, you may save some of them. But outside of that, my brother, these things will put you in trouble. And then they have this new technology called artificial intelligence. Now you may say, I'm talking nonsense. No, I'm not talking nonsense. Two young men contacted me about a month ago, and they said, listen, we have artificial intelligence, and we could steal your voice, but we don't want to steal it. We want to buy your voice. Would you sit down and give us your voice? So I asked them how much you can give me. So they told me they'll give me $400. So I said, well, that would do well for the light bill. I'll come in. And they invited me to a strategic place in Cable Beach. I was shocked when I got there. The beautiful atmosphere. They sit me down behind a camera, They told me to do certain things, and when I look at that $400, I said, well, I'm going to be able to pay the light bill. I will give them what they want, and I give them what they want. And they told me now they have my voice, and I mustn't be surprised if I hear my voice in any advertisement. So I said, I won't be surprised. I thank you all for the $400. I'll go now and pay my light bill. And if you all need my voice again, you all can come for me. So you see, I've already made $400 from some young people in Cable Beach. So I say that to say to you, we have to be very careful. And that is why I'm devastated over this revelation as it relates to Chief Superintendent Michael Johnson. And I must confess, I do know him. I must confess, I have great respect and admiration for him. I must confess that I think he has been doing a wonderful job in terms of crime fighting. I must confess that. Therefore today, I shall, as a citizen, give him the benefit of the doubt, and I shall pray that this is artificial intelligence. I thought I'll say it to you for what it's worth, my spiritual advisor.
No, absolutely.
Okay. Well, having said that,
Move on.
we shall look at some other things that is happening in the country. The other day, Long Island Member of Parliament, Adrian Gibson, was in the House of Assembly. And it appears that his Supreme Court trial has come to an end. And I tried to figure out what the hell is going on. I thought Adrian Gibson is supposed to be in court defending the many charges that has been levied against him. But I saw him in the House of Assembly. He's been vaxing. I don't know what's going on. Nobody wanted to say anything. I have been praying as whether or not I should write a letter to the Chief Justice and or perhaps the Registrar of the Supreme Court to ask them, is Adrian Gibson case having vacation? I've never seen this before in the history of my country. And I think as the Chief Justice introduces this new law, you would recall that I told you that as of the 1st of June, there's this new Supreme Court Services Act that has become the law, and how it gives the Chief Justice and his team, his council, which comprises of the Chief Justice, the President of the Court of Appeal, Justice John Isaac, the Chief Magistrate, Roberto Reckley, and a number of senior judicial officials to comprise this so that they can manage the court, so they could hire their staff independent of the government. So we don't have to worry about who the PLP can send and who the FNM can send. The judges will look at the citizen and determine, yes, this is the man that we need. Yes, this is the woman that we need. I told you about that, and I told you how that is very, very progressive, that you can have the various branches of the government independent of each other, and therefore there's good check and balances in the system. But what's going on with the Adrian Gibson case? I've never seen a case like this in all my life. The time I should be listening to Adrian talking about the Royal Bank of Canada, I want to hear what happened to, I want to hear what evidence is being unveiled. And I called on the courts to reconvene Adrian Gibson case, because this case has been going on for quite a long time, and I've never seen this kind of thing before. I never. Someday when Adrian shows up in court, I find it very interesting. Before the government announced, let me see if I can find it, before the government announced that there has been an increase in COVID, you're able to identify Adrian Gibson because he wears a mask. So he goes to court in mask. And I don't want to comment on his mask. You see, I could comment on his mask. But if I comment on his mask, what I will say about his mask could be prejudicial to the administration of justice. And I don't want to do that. I would never want to stab justice in her most vital parts. But if I comment on his mask, it can stab justice in her most vital parts. So some days when he goes to court, he's wearing a mask. When he goes to the House of Assembly, he chose to wear a mask. What's going on? Why is he disguising himself? I don't know what's going on. And we're living in a society where people don't want you to ask those questions. Ordinarily, I wouldn't ask the question because he would be in court every day. What's going on? At least somebody could say to me, this week, Adrian is having vacation. This week, Adrian has been given time off to go to the House of Assembly. Now, we do know that as a member of Parliament, if he decides that he's going to the House, no court could stop him. No police could stop him if he's on his way. Now, I don't know what they could do after it's over, but these are things that I find so curious. I find it so exciting. It is so exotic. I've never seen this kind of thing before. And I wonder what Peter Turnquist think about it. You know, Kim, who's going to be the F&M candidate in Long Island, the former F&M Deputy Prime Minister and former F&M Deputy Leader. That's what the Conky woman out of Long Island told me, that he's going to be the candidate. So what's going on with Adrian Case? What's going on with Adrian Case? Somebody's going to have to tell me. I think I have a right to know as a citizen. I need, you know, because if Adrian could have vacation, certainly Joe Blacks should be able to have vacation. When his trial come up, he should be able to say to the court, listen, there's precedent. Adrian Gibson is no better than I. He's accused of a crime. I'm accused of a crime. While his own might be white collar, mine is black collar. And if you're not going to treat black collar the way you're going to treat white collar, that's racism. That's racism. I don't know. But I see things. You see, that's my problem. I just see these things happening. It's like I'm in space and I see things. And that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I may have to go like in a trance. And I think that's basically the problem I've had for a long time. I've not been in a trance. I don't know if it's my producer. In more recent time, my producers has not been as Negro as I would want them. These are like light-skinned Negroes they have as my producer. Maybe I need somebody from, you know, I don't know. Maybe I may have to say to them, listen, I need the music. I need to go in a trance because something isn't right, okay? I just thought I'll tell that to y'all since Adrian was in the House of Assembly. And I thought he was showing off. I thought he was showing us that don't mind I on trial. I'm a member of Parliament.
That's right, which is correct. He hasn't been convicted. I don't know why you're going down that road with him. But, you know, he's a member of Parliament. Yes, he's on trial, but he's never been convicted. He's defending the charges against him, so he still has rights as a member of Parliament to go and sit down and do people's business. You know that. I don't know why I don't leave that man alone.
I know what, my spiritual advisor.
He's not
I
been
know
convicted.
that when a person is brought before the court, the case continue until it's
So
over.
you need to find out why the case. You need to find out why the
Are
case.
you aware of that?
Yes, of course. Sandra.
Well, then don't you
Yeah,
find that rather strange?
The court knows what they're doing, Sandra.
I didn't say the court don't know. I
All right,
said
then.
that I thought that
strange
is
to
how
you.
it's done.
It's
Of course,
strange
it's
to-
strange.
Strange
Right?
to
I
you.
can give you a member of Parliament who went on trial. Don't forget now. All right?
Circumstances.
And he had no.
At different at times. You
No,
know?
no. I can give you a member of Parliament. All right?
Don't be upset.
Watch out for me.
Don't be upset, son.
And I could call on Janet Boswick because Janet.
She's been knighted, okay? Damn.
When was she knighted?
I can send you the information.
Get that for me so I can
It's
correct
Dame,
that.
okay?
When was
You're
she
so
knighted?
disrespectful,
When was
man.
she knighted?
It's Dame.
When was she knighted?
Dame.
You see how the Negro man wouldn't answer my question? I
All
want to
right.
be respectful. When was she knighted?
I'm going to send it to your phone.
Well, find it quickly so I can correct that. Janet Boswick, what would I do? I rely on Janet Boswick because, you see, most of you Negroes don't know. Mina was tight.
Stop calling people Negroes, man.
How you mean stop calling people? I'm a Negro.
Just say
You a Negro.
Say Bahamian. Say
We're
most of-
Negroes. I'm a Negro. I am a Negro. And I'm proud. Negro now, Negro tomorrow. I'm a member of the Negro League. This is powerful. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save the King. It's powerful. Your Majesty, God save the King. Welcome back to Freedom March. My name is Rodney Monker. Bradley Rule is my spiritual advisor, and I'm going to invite him to do birthdays. Bradley?
Okay, yeah, so we got a couple birthdays that we're going to do today. A couple birthday shows. Let's see. Here we go. First on the list, Edris Miller. Good afternoon. Happy birthday goes out to Miss Edris Miller, who's celebrating her 68th birthday. And greetings, of course, coming from her three sons. That's Harry, Peach, and Kenny. Her grandchildren, Zaria, Zayden, Watson, and Benjamin Brennan. Daughter-in-law, Tasha, and Nika, her brothers and sisters and church family. ECHC, they love you. May the blessings of the good Lord continue to flow on you. Happy birthday to Edris Miller. Dr. Sherry Longley Thompson. Happy birthday to Dr. Sherry Longley Thompson. It's coming from your husband Anton, your son Alexander, your dad Basil, your moms Carolyn and Anastasia, your sister Annalisa, your brothers Basil Jr. and Baron, and family and friends. So happy birthday to Dr. Sherry Longley Thompson. All right, so Carmen Missick. Wishing a happy birthday to Carmen Missick. Is coming from her husband Dennis, two daughters, Shania and Jada. Happy birthday, Carmen Missick. Shamika Brown celebrating the birthday. Happy birthday coming from her mom, Sheila Burrows, her son, Amory, and brothers and sisters. They love you much. Enjoy your beautiful day. Happy birthday to Shamika Brown. Sandra, what do you have? That
I sent you one. You saw the one I sent you just now? Yeah. While he is doing that, I want to say that today I've had a number of people complaining to me about potholes. And I've spoken to them, and then I made contact with the Ministry of Works at perhaps its highest level, and I've said to them, listen, people are complaining about potholes. How can we deal with that efficiently? And so I am authorized by the Ministry of Works to tell it to you. So how do we deal with it? So to make complaints about holes in the road, debris, and other stuff that shouldn't be in the streets, the Ministry of Work has a hotline, okay? The hotline is open 24 hours. And all you got to do is telephone them and tell them precisely where the hole is. You can even send photographs of the hole. For instance, a Negro lady who lives in the Nassau Village constituency, I've told her, send me a WhatsApp of the location, because she would like for her Member of Parliament to also see the hole. I think her Member of Parliament is Jamal. Do you know who's the Member of Parliament for Nassau Village? Is it Jamal Strawn?
Yeah.
It is Jamal Strawn?
Yeah.
So I told her, send me the exact spot, and she wanted to know how to do it. I said, well, just stand up in the hole, look for the location marker, send it to me, I'll send it to Jamal. So the Ministry of Works says they have a crew of dedicated people who are committed to patching up these holes. So it's a hotline, and this is the number. It's 302-9777. 302-9777, okay? And I had a wonderful conversation with the Ministry of Works. I told them, listen, I really don't want to have to come for tar. I do have 2 showels, and I had to talk politics. I spoke raw politics with them. I said, listen, are you aware that Prime Minister Philip Brave Davis has told PLPs to get ready for the election, to organize the branches, to take care of the people, and to solve these problems? Are you aware of that? Well, I need y'all to pick up speed, okay? I don't want nobody telling me anything about any hole in the road, okay? Because I know there was a hole in the wall by the bucket, and we gotta just solve these things. So I thought I'd say that. Do you have that birthday ready? Yeah, okay. So this is great. And my spiritual advisor, I had a Negro lady who called complaining over the pronunciation of a child's name. Please read this.
Yeah,
and
folks, please. I mean, let me tell you what's happening here.
just
now.
relax, don't get
no,
upset.
no. Give me a second.
Would you read this first and then you could talk
I
afterwards?
mean, they're giving these kids these names that are so difficult to call.
Well, we'll tell them what the names are.
Mary, Martha, Jane,
Lucy.
Janet, Lucy. You know, these are very easy names to call.
Ruth.
But Ruth,
Deborah.
Deborah,
Lita.
you know,
Paula.
Leah,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But when you name your children Shakaya and Shakisha and Sakitra and Shamika and Shamira, man, listen.
Listen.
They can't take this, man.
Okay.
All right? Now,
Let's-
what are we doing here now?
I need you to do this by thing. Would you?
Oh, I have it? Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, this is great.
I mean, give your kids regular names that we could call, please.
Yeah.
All right, so we want to wish this lovely lady happy birthday, coming from your parents, Gail and Jasmine, grandmother Alberta Stewart. What is this beautiful lady's name? They didn't send a name?
They said her name? Really? You sure?
They just said we would like to wish this lovely lady a happy birthday. It's
Okay,
coming from
well,
your grandparents,
that's
Gail
it.
and Jasmine. Gail, her grandmother, Alberta Stewart.
Okay.
Um,
Happy birthday. That's
and
it.
then we also have Miss Ann Miller, a diva from Unfiltered, especially from a family. Yeah, okay, so happy birthday. We want Rodney to send a happy birthday to Mistress Ann Miller, a diva from the Unfiltered,
This is powerful.
especially your family. So happy birthday to you.
Okay.
All the best.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
So happy birthday, everybody! And as the spiritual advisor has announced, starting next week, would you please give the children the old people name? Ruth, Mary Jane, Sandra, Jennifer, Violet. All right? How that sound? Old
Yeah,
people name.
everybody trying to get a unique name.
Yeah. Latoya, it started around 1972 when the young people for the first time start having babies.
Oh, kind
And
of
they
different.
came up with all kind of names. Latoya, Lachoka, you know?
Shamika,
Yeah.
Shakitra,
Yeah.
Shanisha.
And every time I run into a police
Oh,
lady,
kinda.
and when she said, when I asked her, what is her name? She said her name was Latoya. I look up into the heavens. She said, what happened, Mr. Monk? I said, yeah, you must see young people, child. She
Yeah.
said she was 50. I said, well, you used to be young people, child. Anyway.
Yeah,
it's
look for us.
powerful.
That's all the.
That's all
the
birthday.
birthdays.
So
Yeah.
happy birthday, everybody! And as my spiritual advisor has advised, let's name the children Ruth, okay, and Matilda, and things like that, and that would be
Yeah.
very powerful.
Mary and Martha.
Mary and Martha.
Very simple names. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I knew
There you go,
Mary.
Sandra.
I knew Martha, I knew Jennifer, I knew Sandra, I knew Violet, I knew Wanria. You know, they were good names. So back to you about roads, and if they are rocky, if there are holes, there is a commitment from the Ministry of Work to dispatch people to fix them. Now, we have to be honest with ourselves. The government will not know that there's a hole in the road by the bucket unless you inform them. All right? You have to say it. I don't want you to be like the woman in Nassau Village who told me she is suffering. And I told her, send me a picture so I can ease the suffering. All right? So if there's a hole, you call the number. It's 302 9777. 302 9777. Okay? 302 9777. Call them. Document it. If you can take pictures, you can share it with them. If that becomes difficult, you share it with me. Okay? I just wait for the government. Do you know what all I'm doing now? Huh? I called an official in the Ministry of Health and I told them, I asked Marcus, you know Marcus Louis, he works with me in the government. We're gonna fill up 50 plastic bottle. And if anybody was to call me from the hospital again telling me, you know water, I can show up at accidents and emergency with it. All right? So y'all make sure that water on. And I serious with that. All right? So you have to let the officials know it, and it will be corrected. All right? I thought I'd emphasize that. It's like how in Pinewood Gardens, the woman complained, she said mosquito biting her. And I told Miles LaRoad, I said, listen, the woman in Nassau Village said mosquito biting her, what you can do about it? Now the woman called me, she's so excited, said, man, all Miles doing is flitting. And I promised to show you how Dr. Minnis dealt with it. But I must confess, I didn't bring the picture. I wanted to show you how Dr. Minnis gave out Baygon. When one of our first dengue attack, Dr. Minnis held a health meeting at St. Cecilia Primary School, the Catholic Church Rectory. And he was Minister of Health in the Hubert Ingram administration. And listen to me, all I collect was Baygon. And I got them large Baygon. I carried to Black Village. I had enough Baygon to give to my neighbors and for me to stock up. Okay? So we have to take into consideration that it's a rainy season and dengue, right, is, yeah. So I thought I'd tell that to you, and I also want you to be cautious because there are talks about COVID. We want to keep it a secret, but it's important for our people to know it. I will be your sign. Whenever you see me start wearing masks all over the place, then you will know it's time to put on your mask. Now, I've not been wearing any mask yet, but I have told my wife to take down the mask because I got a half box full. And so I shall be watching it. Now today, I had to return to the Parliamentary Registration Department because I needed some information. The Prime Minister having told PLPs to get ready and to organize for election, I wanted to find out from the Parliamentary Registration Department what to do if you are on the voters list, but you have moved to a new constituency. What are the qualifications to be transferred? And so I met with them and I took notes. They told me, if you were living, for instance, in Mount Moriah, but you were moving into St. Barnabas, well, you must produce a utility bill. That's one. And what else did they say? You must produce your current voter's card. If you lose it, come and get a certified copy, then go to the police, make a report, show them the certified copy, tell them you lost your original so that they can then write a report. You bring that in, you bring that utility bill. If the bill is not in your name, let's say you live with your parent, then your parent will write a letter telling the parliamentary commissioner that you either live in the house with them or you live in the yard. Or if you have people living in your yard, you will write a letter for all of them telling the parliamentary registrar that these people live in your yard. That becomes very important because there are many people who have moved from one constituency for at least 3 months. So you have to be moving and living into a new constituency for 3 months before you are allowed to transfer once you produce the documents which I have described. Utility bill, that's light bill, water bill, telephone bill, cable bill. All right? And then, of course, you bring your voter's card. and a letter from someone in the family if your name is not on the bill to confirm that you are a resident of that particular household or you live in that yard. All right? That is an example of it. So it's exciting. And while I was there, I was impressed to see that there were quite a number of people who had shown up at the Parliamentary Commissioner's office to either register and or to transfer to a new constituency. Now the Parliamentary Registration Department, they have an interesting rule there. It's almost like it's a clinic. So I enter, I go to the area where you are registered, and then of course I was informed that I needed a mass. And so I cooperated. All I said in my mind, Lord, you mean to tell me COVID in here? And so I said, COVID reach here yet? So the woman said, well, no, we are fighting against mole. So I go up front and I said, listen, they say I need a mask. So they give me this mask. I put on my mask and I joined them in fighting the mole. So I fought mole and stayed far from COVID. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to see Mr. Monroe, perhaps me and him gonna have to go there and see how we can best clean up that place. And it is an interesting building. I should have bought a picture of that building because the building has a very interesting history. That was National Insurance, and there were a number of scallywags who came up with a scheme to rob NIB. I hate to call Janet Bostwick's name. My spiritual advisor is going to say, call her dame, but I have no evidence that she has been knighted by our late sovereign and or our current king. But Janet Bostwick, she is responsible for them who ripped off NIB of escaping, because she went to court and she waged one battle in the court. And after she waged that battle, them crooks, they got away. See, only me can tell it to you. Watch it. Listen to talk show. Nobody's going to tell you what Janet did. Only me will tell it to you. So I'm here to tell you how when they killed the baby, Janet get the woman off. See, only me can tell it to you. Watch it. They can't sue me. It's right there in the records of the court. Kill a whole baby. Janet went into court. And when Janet then finished arguing, you hear me? The woman get away. But a whole baby. Man, it was a beautiful baby. Oh, it was a beautiful baby. But Janet was able to argue. And Janet has a history of climbing the rough side of the mountain. And then she get at the top of the hill. And she began to come down. Only me will tell it to you. You hear me? Then what else Janet did? Well, I told you how Janet hanged that African American who killed a whole white man, right? You see the controversy going on with Taylor? Now the yoga retreat, they are now issuing statement. They're now telling us that Taylor Casey, the African American, that's the only thing that they're clear on. He is an African American. They're not clear on whether or not he's a man or a woman. Because while they're calling him a woman, we have been told he's a male who has transgender to a female. You see what the FBI doing to us? You see what the American media doing to us? They got us fooled. Now Taylor, the yoga people say, ain't nobody kidnapped Taylor and moved Taylor off the yoga retreat. Mind you, just a couple of days ago, they told us a big man with one kind of cap, with a walkie-talkie, he took Taylor away. All right? Now they changed it. So I believe Taylor has been captured and kidnapped. And you remember they said it was somebody from Chicago. So Taylor from Chicago and somebody from Chicago came to the Bahamas, and he gone. Now remember Chicago. See, nobody can tell it to you. Chicago is one of the most gangster states of the 52 states of the United States of America. It is the state of Al Capone. There's been no gangster as cool and as great as Al Capone. And that's where gangsterism was permeated right there in Chicago. They ain't gonna tell that to you. And now the African American came to the yoga retreat, and somebody big with a walkie-talkie and a cap, he's gone. So they leave us to come up with conjecture. So I'm going to come up with one. I believe two things happened to him. Either he went swimming and shark bite him, or he was captured. Okay? He was captured. Somebody captured him. And perhaps only the FBI, the CIA, and the DEA could solve this. Our boys, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, they're working hard. I mean, it's unfair for that to have them looking for a woman, and it's a man. You see what they're doing to our policemen? They got them up and down looking for a woman. They'll never be able to find a woman because it's not a woman. Don't mind what they're saying. Don't mind what the Americans are saying. All right? The Americans play politics. Okay? They play politics. Remember what I told you. And I ain't gonna tell this piece to you no more. Remember what I told you. They play so much politics that they had a white man who was sent to prison, and the white man convinced the judge and the prosecutor that he was not a woman, he was not a man. And they put the white man into prison. And the next thing they know, 9 months later, that female population was big right up. All right? And do you believe that the FBI, the CIA, the DEA, they started one big investigation. And guess what they were trying to find out? How these women get pregnant. But they had a whole man. How the hell you could put a young man in a prison population with young, healthy females? Huh? And he play woman with them, and every time you see them, he play cute. And when they turn their back, he make baby in the prison. He'd knock up that whole population. It's one of the greatest American secret right there in the United States. Man, the Americans can do things. It's just amazing. But it's a great nation. They're very liberal. And if you went to America, you could be what you want to be. It's amazing. You can tell them that you're not an African American anymore. You could say you ain't black. You could call yourself chocolate. You could tell them you're half man and half woman. That's what you do in the United States. But they're celebrating their 248th anniversary. And listen to me, they had a wonderful party in Washington. Man, it was great. I saw it on TV last night. This was Freedom March. God save the Commandant of the Bahamas. God save the King. King Charles III and the entire royal family. God save the King. It's powerful.
This is the number to call, 698-0775, 698-0, I'm sorry, 698, forgive me, I need to get some water. The numbers to call, 323-7775, 698-0775, 698-0776. Call us. We have a full half an hour basically to engage you in conversation here on Freedom March. The weekend is here, Senator.
Yes, it is.
And I was hoping, before we get any calls, that we would have had a chance to look at World Bank's latest announcement, and that what they're now doing is, as of July, I'm going to get the date, what they're doing is that if you have an ATM card
Okay.
and you go to another bank to withdraw money
Right.
and the transactions decline, they're going to charge you 50 cents for that.
Okay.
All right, so that's been raising a lot of questions about bank charges.
How that works? You go to the bank.
Let's just say, like me, I have a Royal Bank ATM card.
Okay.
Let's just say I go to Scotiabank.
Right.
Because once the machines are marked Visa
Right.
or Plus, you can go to any machine once it has that marking and use it to withdraw cash. It's just that when you get to the point where you're going to withdraw the cash, there's a fee that is levied against you
Okay.
for that withdrawal. It'll say, listen, we're going to charge you an additional $1.50 for this $200 transaction. Do you care to proceed? And if you say yes, then you can take the money off.
Okay.
But now Royal Bank is saying now, if that transaction decline, you're not going to get scot-free off.
You pay 50.
You're going to pay 50 cents.
Okay.
Yeah. We have any calls? Okay, welcome to Freedom March Call. You're live.
Yes, good afternoon, Mr. Mankan, spiritual advisor.
Good afternoon.
Yes, this is Shanika. I'm spiritual advisor for you. For those names, yes, Shanika, unforgettable. I had to put that one in there. Mr. Manka,
Yes.
now, with this case with the gentleman now that is missing from the yoga retreat, have you seen that?
Taylor Casey.
No, somebody else now.
There's a
They
new
said,
person?
Like you on the Bahamas Times, come and go across Facebook page.
That's an
and
old-
go, wow, what
that's an-
is.
Shanika, that's an old notice, okay? It was just reference to show you way back in the day that there was somebody who was missing from the yoga retreat. That's not recent, okay?
They should have said that because that's
It's right on the notice
concern.
If you read it, it gives you the date on it.
I saw the date. I thought that was a typo.
No.
Oh,
That's-
okay.
that's
Was
not-
that
All
a-
right then.
Oh,
wow,
Now they
Shanika.
proceeding
A
with
white
the
man.
case.
Shanika, was he a Negro?
No, that was a Caucasian look like.
Did they find the Caucasian?
No, he was never found.
But I don't know because it say he was missing in 2013.
Yeah,
Really?
He was never found.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, the ocean right there, and the Americans wouldn't leave the sharks alone, and all over the United States, sharks is biting them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how was the case proceeding? Any
Which one?
update?
You mean with Casey?
Yes, sir.
Well, at the moment, Casey cannot be found, and since nobody in authority can give us an accounting what the people have done, the Negro people, we have come up with conjecture and speculation. So, for me, Casey is still missing, and it is our hope and prayer that he will show up in the United States. Okay?
Yeah, this is weird. Okay,
Thank you. Have a
Okay.
good weekend.
Yes, sir, you too.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, we don't need calls. Yeah. So that's one of the arguments that Adrian Gibson was he had raised in the House of Assembly about bank charges. I guess a lot of folks don't understand that banks do have a right to, introduce charges for services that you may require of them. But it's just that now a lot of folks gonna have to pay real close attention to their accounts because if
I have
you
a
know,
different
yeah.
opinion.
So you have to monitor your account carefully because.
No.
And then two, I don't know. Sometimes
There is no
are technical
need-
issues.
There is
where-
no need for debit card.
What are you talking about?
The Royal Bank of Canada will not be able to charge me for debit card because there's no need for debit card.
So how are you gonna do your banking?
The law say cash. cash.
Yeah, okay, you keep it. Okay. You
Wow.
You're right behind the 8 ball. Boy.
No, I'm not
There's
behind
more
the-
technology now, Senator.
My spiritual advisor,
You
we not.
ain't going in the bank every day to go take
Well,
money
stop
from account.
complaining if the Royal Bank can charge you 50 cents.
Well, we're just talking
All
about the
that I'm
charge.
saying is simply this. Section 14, the last time I saw it, of the Central
Central Bank
Bank
Act?
Act told me that if I owe a bill, I'm to pay it in cash.
Cash is legal tender.
That's legal tender. So I shouldn't have any problem with any card. That is the point I make. I know that the cards are not safe because
Convenient.
I've never been to
They're very
Canada.
convenient, though.
It can't be convenient if I'm in Nassau and the Canadian thieving my money and buying beer.
Let me ask you a question. When that happened, where did you go when you used that card? What happened? Did somebody actually clone the number?
I don't know.
Did you use it someplace where
All
somebody
I
photocopied the
know
card?
is Commonwealth Bank, when I started Rowan, told me that the Canadians did it.
Right, but you would know where you use your
My
cards because
spiritual
apparently you
advisor-
went someplace.
Did you hear what I just told you?
Yes,
I've
I
never
hear
been to
that,
Canada. Never been to Canada. I'm not interested in going to Canada.
Somebody used your card.
Yeah, the Canadians did it, but they
I
know
don't
itself.
know if you could say that. It
All
may
right.
not have been them.
Well, the Commonwealth Bank told me.
It was used in Canada.
The Commonwealth Bank told me. They identified a man. They
Did you
told
lose
me
the
what
card?
there.
Did you lose the card?
What do you mean if I lose the
No.
card?
Did you lose it?
No, I had the card.
Right.
Right.
So somewhere you used the
I
card
don't know
someplace.
how they did it.
I could tell you how they did it.
Well, tell me how they do it so I could report it
You
to the
used
police.
the card.
Use
right?
it- use
so
it
you
where?
use it locally, and they were able to clone your number.
Okay.
That's all.
So the Canadian came to Nassau.
No,
and
a
cloned my
Bahamian did it.
number.
Well, you know what? Let me get. Sorry.
Huh?
Forget
Are you
that.
suggesting that the Canadian
Forget-
gangster came to Nassau? Right? See,
The
I
card-
understand
Somebody
the
used the
concept.
card in Canada, right? You don't know who it was.
I
You
understand.
know the location.
I understand.
But you don't know who it was.
Commonwealth Bank tell me exactly who it is.
They know the person?
Of course, they told me.
They give you a name?
They told me.
They give you a description of the person?
They told me it's a white man.
Okay.
The only problem I had with him is he could have at least buy collect beer. All right? If anybody
In Canada?
in Canada were to steal my card again
Oh.
and they're purchasing beers, at least buy Bahamian collect. And at least I could say, well, they bought collect. But the point I make is, yeah, this is technology. But the technology is not supported by our laws. If our laws say that I can pay in dollars, then nobody should unlawfully make me use a card. But you Negroes don't have to listen to that. You think I'm being difficult. No. The card should follow the law. Now, I may be wrong. They may have amended the law, and I'm not aware of it. But to the best of my knowledge, Section 14 of the Central Bank Act says any bills that I'm paying within the Commonwealth of the Bahamas,
Cash is
legal
legal
tender.
tender.
That's it. All right? But, anyway, that's it.
Sandra, we're getting some breaking news.
Go ahead.
Apparently, we understand that there may have been a plane crash in Exuma. This is a developing story. There's no details as yet as to exactly if there's anybody on board or if any souls were lost. But
What kind of plane is it?
We don't have any information, but we are
Okay.
getting reports that there may have been a plane crash at Exuma International Airport. This is a developing story.
Okay.
I guess we won't have time to develop it today, but
Well, who
pay
knows,
attention to Eyewitness News later on to get some more information
I'm certain-
on this breaking news.
Well, I'm certain that the people of Forest, Exuma, will tell me. I'm counting on Forest.
We have some calls? Welcome to Freedom March. Caller, you're live. You're live, caller. Go ahead. Hello, caller. You there? All right. Sorry. Could we get the next call, please? Welcome to Freedom March. Caller, you're live.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Mr. Banco,
So,
I was doing some research.
yes.
What you and spiritual advisor was talking about Janet Boswick.
Yes.
And you is right as far as the Queen and Prince Charles didn't like Janet.
Okay.
But I was wondering if this on the same par or what I find.
What did you find?
Okay. Janet Boswick, the first woman elected to the House of Assembly,
That is true.
received her appointment
Yes.
as then commander of the most excellent order of the British Empire at Buckingham Palace.
When?
Prince William, the Duke of Cambridge, officiate at the ceremony.
When did that happen?
Well, this happened. If you can
2012.
it happened back in
2012,
April
was it?
time.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right then. Well, if you are correct, then I apologize. I have forgotten.
I was just wondering if the then commander of the most excellent order of the British Empire at Buckingham Palace on the same power,
Yeah.
Prince William,
Yeah,
the Duke of Cambridge,
yeah.
have
If
have the same value.
he would have, he would have been acting on behalf of the Queen.
Apparently.
Of the Queen.
Okay, all right.
All right. So okay. So I will now check, and
Yeah, you can follow that up.
and I thank you for that information, because honestly I do not recall Janet having been knighted, but now as you say so.
Yes, sir.
See, this is what I
Buckingham
remember. Let me tell you what I remember. I remember that Hubert Ingram had offered her a knighthood, and she told Ingram she would not accept it unless Henry Bostwick was given one. Now,
I remember that too.
okay, and the
But
practice
I don't
is,
know. I just guess it's Hubert Ingram. Now you could do your research,
yeah,
but I know she was then commander, the most excellent order of the British Empire, and she was honored at Buckingham Palace
Okay. okay. Well,
Okay, all right,
I
we got you.
I thank you for the correction,
Yeah.
but as I
All right.
recall it,
Yes, sir.
Ingram had
Thank you.
offered her a knighthood. She had declined it because if she was getting a knighthood, once you knight to woman, her husband gets nothing. But if Henry was given a knight, Janet would have turned into a lady. And so there was that debate, and my understanding is she had refused it, to the extent that very close upper class friends of Henry Bostwick and Janet came up with a tease. They said
You mean a dame
that if
lady?
Janet became a dame, Henry Bostwick would become a
Lord.
daimler.
I tell you.
See, watch out for me. I'm F&M. I was at the caucus when this was discussed, and so forth. But now that he said it is possible that Janet might have quietly accepted the knighthood, to which I would be willing to apologize and to give her the honor which she would be entitled to. After all, God save the king.
We got a few calls.
Yeah, we'll
Welcome,
look into it.
welcome to Freedom March, call you live. You have any calls? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I sent some information. Let me see if I can look this
Well,
up.
send the information. So I'm going to have to
Let me
investigate,
see.
and perhaps I will have to ask Government House to confirm whether or not Janet was knighted. Because I do remember that there was this political dispute where Janet refused it. Her position is she could not, in fairness, accept a knighthood, and her beloved husband, John Henry Bostwick, was not given any. These are the facts as I do, because in the F&M there was a big dispute over whether or not Janet should be sent to Government House. Nobody wanted to discuss it. That's not disgraceful. Government House is a high honor. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, let's go ahead and read it. Okay, so it says a luncheon was held to honor the Right Honorable Dame Janet Bostwick on her 40th anniversary as the first woman elected to serve in the House of Assembly on Friday, June the 10th, 2022 at Sopadilla Restaurant, Acton. Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism and Investment and Aviation, the Honorable Chester Cooper, gave remarks and also giving tributes for the first woman to serve as Deputy Prime Minister of the Bahamas, Cynthia Mother Pratt, first female Speaker of the House Assembly, Rome Italia Johnson, current Minister of Education and Technical and Vocational Training, the Honorable Gladys Arnold Martin, and Senator of the Honorable Michaela Barnett Ellis. A number of prominent statesmen, friends, and families were also present to celebrate the occasion. So what exactly was that, Senator?
That was not a knighthood. The PLP playing class with the Boswicks. Certain women in the PLP playing class with Janet Boswick. They decided that they would organize to honor her.
Why are they referring to as Dame?
The gentleman said that she was knighted. I am saying I don't recall that.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
If she was knighted in 2012, Perry Christie was Prime Minister in 2012. I do not recall Perry Christie asking the Queen to bestow a knighthood on Janet.
Okay.
Right?
You got 2 calls? Okay. You want to take those calls?
Take the call.
Okay, welcome to Freedom March call. You're live. What time do you have on the show, producer? Welcome to Freedom March.
Sir Advisor, how are you?
Yes, go ahead. I'm doing well. Thank you.
Mr. Munga, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, my brother.
Very good. Okay, I must have called about 2 months ago in connection with a pole that is out on Fayette Avenue North.
I remember that.
Right, and
That's not been
Still
fixed
up.
yet? Has it been fixed yet?
nobody has come yet.
Really? Who's your MP?
I believe Mr. Dowell.
Mr. Dowell is your MP? Okay, Mr.
for Fayette Avenue area.
But Mr. Dowell is my good friend. I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Would you be
Yeah.
willing to give me a call about 9 a.m. tomorrow morning?
Yeah, you can give me a number, please.
Yeah, my number is 801.
Just a minute, let me get a pen.
Yeah,
Okay, 801
57
57
60.
60.
Call me. I'm going to be watching the phone at 9. You call me. I shall organize to come to see this poll. And then
Okay.
I will tell BPL my mind, because BPL is responsible to fix polls, not
Exactly.
Michael Dowell.
Fix the lights, not both, fix the lights.
Well, yes, and I want BPL to know that Wayne Monroe, as a part of his national security strategy, every street light is supposed to be working.
Okay.
All right.
Now I have a few more concerns.
Go ahead, my brother.
I happened to stop out at Sanders Beach the other day.
Yes.
Actually, I was out there about 2 or 3 months ago as well.
Yes.
And there were some people working on the bathroom out there.
Okay.
And I happened to stop out there a couple of days ago, and the bathroom is still closed up.
Really?
No, you can't use it. I watch a whole lot of tourists try to get in there.
Well, I'm
They were
gonna.
not able to use it.
I'm going to call Mikel Bonnaby, because I know he is responsible for public beaches. I'm not blaming him for anything, but I shall call him and ask him, why is it that the bathrooms are not working? Because that is one of the most expensive bathroom that has ever been built.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it should be open.
I remember somebody called you in connection with a portable bathroom that they had out there,
Yes.
but it's no longer there.
Saturday, I will also go Odette to inspect it. But you call me 9 o'clock, because that pole and that light need to be fixed. And BPL, they don't know that the government has secretly given me the number for a woman who is in charge of that. I've not called her yet. I've not
Okay.
called her, but the government has quietly say, take this number, do not tell her that you got it from the government. And that's why I haven't called her, because I want to say to her, now, this number, the government gave this number to me. Why you wouldn't fix these lamp pole?
Exactly.
All right? But I have a number.
Okay, one more thing, Mr. McCurry.
Go ahead, sir.
I
Quickly,
heard
please.
something from you yesterday about a bad road in Golden Gate.
Yes.
For me, all of the roads are bad.
Okay.
Tonic Darlin, if I was Tonic Darlin, I would tell the government to take my name off the road,
Okay.
because you got to keep ducking the potholes.
Okay.
And my last concern is why so many cars are driving around with no license plates?
Really?
He will explain that to you on the
Okay.
in a couple of minutes, sir.
Well, no, let him put his question. Okay. We will look,
I mean,
we'll look
everywhere
into
you
that.
go, there are cars with no license plate, and that's very dangerous.
Not only is it dangerous, it is against the law.
But they have letters from road traffic.
All right.
We got to go, caller. I'm sorry. We got to go. We got a couple of calls waiting, okay?
Don't forget,
Yeah.
call me tomorrow, 9 o'clock.
I sure will.
And anybody with potholes, the number is 302-9777. Call the Ministry of Work, tell them where the potholes are. 302-9777. Call me 9 o'clock, sir.
Thanks a lot, Mr. Markham. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, so let's take these two calls quickly because we have updated information on Janet Bostwick and her officially being honored and named, and knighted, sorry. We have the official information.
Okay,
now.
let's hear it.
Okay, so welcome to Freedom March. Call you live.
Yes, how you doing? Mr. Rodney Kerr and spiritual advisor Ciala Johnson. That's what I was calling about,
Okay.
the Dame Commander. She was appointed as Dame Commander of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire on Thursday, March 28, 2019.
Right.
And so at Buckingham Palace. Regardless of what happened in 2012-ish, she may have made the decision to accept it. at
So,
this particular
Janet became a dame when?
time. Thursday, March 28, 2019.
Thursday, March
So 28, 2019.
28.
So she turned it down in 2012.
2000.
I would assume that if it was
19.
offered to her, that it was not accepted.
Okay.
But at this particular time,
Janet.
she
It was.
chose to accept it.
Okay.
Bostwick. So they kept that quiet, eh?
Yeah, it was in the newspapers
Yes, it
and
was.
other things. I mean, not on the front page, but it was in the
Okay.
newspapers.
Well, it's disgraceful if they didn't have it on the front page, and the Tribune must be condemned because the Tribune is the paper of the FNM, and the FNM was in power in 2019. Perhaps
Okay.
it got
But
off. Thank
she
you.
was given by the Prince
Yeah.
William to actually give the investiture to her.
Okay, well, I thank you for the information.
All right,
All
And
right. Okay. Take care. See you.
Alan Johnson haven't confirmed that. I want to apologize to Mrs. Janet Bostwick, and as of today, she shall be described as Dame Janet,
yeah, too
which
hard.
is proper. Go ahead,
Yes.
Mr. Supervisor.
Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live. Producer, you have those photos? Welcome to Freedom March. Call you live. Did we get that call?
Yes,
Did we
yes,
lose
get
that
the
call?
photos because time is running.
Yeah, see, I don't know. See if you can pull one or two of them. Yes, yes, officially she was knighted.
Okay. Well, her and the competent authority, they kept that secret.
Yeah, so
All right.
let's see what it says here. Okay,
Janet did it secretly.
I think her son,
Accompanied
John
her?
Bostwick, yeah, joined
Accompanied her?
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
that you said that,
Yeah.
it's coming back.
Yeah, because it's coming back to me too. Because
Yeah.
it did make the newspaper.
Okay.
So it says Janet Bostwick, the first black elected House was
First
the first
black?
woman. Janet Bostwick, the first woman elected to the House of Assembly in the Bahamas, received her appointment as Dame Commander of the Most Excellent Order of
Okay.
the British Empire at an investor at Buckingham Palace on Thursday, March the 28, 2019.
Okay, so we got the facts.
Right, so Prince
So,
William, the
to
Duke
the
of
country,
Cambridge.
I apologize for not saying Dame Janet, which is the proper thing. I've been corrected. I apologize. Dame Janet Bostwick. So Dame Janet Bostwick, she has always been my witness because I know precisely what she has done. I know when she was successful in hanging the African American Mishaka Shobek. I know when she got the white girl off who drowned the baby. You see? Because for me, those things were very powerful. And there were many days when Janet win these powerful cases. When I saw her from afar, I merely looked and stared and prayed. So this is powerful. What
Yeah,
else?
so there are some photos, as you can see.
This is photo of
Her being knighted
Knighted?
in Buckingham Palace, yes.
okay,
yeah.
and who is the sovereign that is knighting Janet?
It does. Let me see if I can
Is
get
that
his,
Prince William?
Let me see if I get his name quickly. Where did I find
Is that the heir
To the throne?
to the throne of the Bahamas.
It could be.
Prince William.
It could be.
Yeah, this is powerful.
Um,
Yeah, I do remember Janet Boswick did go, and I thank all the Bahamians.
Yeah, that's the
God
Empire.
save Dame Janet Boswick. God save Dame Janet Boswick. God save the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. God save our King. This is powerful. It's a wonderful day. My spiritual advisor, be safe, eh?
Have a good weekend, everybody.
God save
On
the
back.
King. This is powerful. Do well. If it is God's will,
Monday, we'll be back.
we pray to be back.